All right, for this WHP presentation topic, today we are going to be discussing the trend of an aging population. What does this mean for our future, and what consequences could this pertain to? Today, more Americans are living longer than ever, and nearly 1 in 4 Americans will be over 65. And that is a 2020 study. So I'm sure this is even older now, as it's been 5 years. So in this presentation, we'll be covering how does this affect the individual, how does this affect the workplace, communities relating to promotion and wellness of health. And the first topic that obviously will be discussed is how does this affect the individual in their daily lives. So the first thing we're going to be discussing about an aging population is the impact on the individual. There have been studies linked in older adults that this can lead to some cognitive decline symptoms because of things like social isolation, mental health issues, and like I just said, cognitive decline because the quality of life going down. So these problems are very prevalent, especially in older adults. And they did a study on this past year, I believe, because older adults have a harder time socializing with people their age because of this aging population. Social isolation and atomization is the biggest cause of this. Social isolation leads to things like dementia in older adults and depression. But this also ties into how does this affect the individual if they're young? This is the worst part because first of all, it deprives young people of a lot of opportunities since I don't have a picture of it, but there is a population pyramid. It is a pyramid. It is supposed to look like a pyramid, but what we are seeing is that it is actually inverted in that there are more elderly people than there are compared to young people. And this creates sort of a societal imbalance. It kind of deprives younger people of more opportunity since there's just so many older people. This causes problems with fertility rates. It's harder to find people your age to build relationships with. And like I just said, it creates an imbalance between young and old. So this is actually a pretty bad consequence of an aging population. Um, so, yeah, an aging population is never good for anybody. There needs to be, in a healthy society, more younger people than there are older people. Now, in the workplace and communities, this actually isn't the end of the world. But the consequence of this is the workforce is aging. Society is aging. Like I said, 1 in 4 Americans will be over 65. But there is a good balance between young people and old people. There is a mentor pupil sort of balance where the older people are good mentors to the pupil. That is requiring that there is a good flexible age range and there's a good balance in the workforce. But again, this is still harder for young people because getting your foot in the door when there's already so many people with experience in the workplace, it is a lot harder to get into. And that creates, again, it deprives them of a lot of opportunity. So to combat this, I believe there should be a flexible age range where you don't hire too many young people, where you don't hire too many old people, where you have sort of a balance, like I just said, mentor or pupil. The older people can, move on by teaching the younger people, and the younger people will pick up those skills, and where the old people leave off, they will build off of that. So, how will this impact WHP careers or health promotion careers? An older population actually brings a lot of career opportunities because of a lot of diseases that come with aging. However, this may be a strain on medical care. We may be, diverting too much attention towards this, and this causes a lot of problems because we aren't moving forward. We are trying to, support an older population, barring the fact that we are not innovating. We are not going forward. This could create a lot of problems like diseases coming since we're not putting our full attention towards that. And this in turn inexorably will lead to the rise of costs, straining, and like I just said, this will create sort of barriers to new technology because we are just diverting our attention to, keeping this population healthy. But this isn't the end of the world. This brings a lot of opportunities for young people because elderly people, they require a lot of medical attention, nursing, caregiving, etc. Physical therapy is also, that's one I'm trying to get into. This, again, brings a lot of opportunity for young people. So if you're young, think about that. That's definitely a career, especially with the aging population, that is definitely a great career to get into nowadays. AI won't take over, and there's a lot of opportunity that you could tap into. And here are 4 of the studies that I used for all of these slides. So, I hope you found this presentation helpful.